The great financial reset is here and now. I've been sharing with you guys since 2020 the infrastructural change in the financial system. We talked about it in 2020 as a concept. And today, as we sit in 2025, it is now moving into regulation and adoption. Now, here's the good news. You're still very, very early. First, they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. Draper. We're now in regulation and joining phase. Okay. We had speculation. Now we have adoption, then tokenization. So from 2025 to 2030, we're going into adoption and then full tokenization. Now we're going to pause for just a moment. I'm going to make this very, very abundantly clear. If you're trying to get rich quick and you think you're going to become a multimillionaire in the next 90 days off of these hype influencers, I'm not your guy. This is not the channel. My specialty is discipline, consistency done for a long enough period of time to access a new paradigm. You don't want to get rich quick. You will get wrecked 100% of the time. What I am really good at is creating systems, process, structure, foundational safety, and following it to the T. Now, I told you guys what I was doing from 2020 to 2025. We put it out on video. We predicted it. We talked about it, and we got very disciplined, and we did it. Now, here's what I'm about to tell you. As we're about to radically transform our family's life from 2025 to 2030. So if you're patient, you're persistent, and you study the bamboo tree, you will do very, very well. But if you're rushing into this because your favorite influencer tells you that it's going to be massive a price appreciation, you're going to get wrecked. That's not how markets work. I'm a Warren Buffett style investor. Okay. So what I do on the back end of every video, I share with you exactly what I do. I talk about my top 7 cryptos now. I share with you my capital DR strategy. It's a system that I created myself that has worked phenomenal. I just work to beat inflation and hurdle rates. You're getting crushed by hurdle rates and inflation every single year. If you don't understand how money compounds in the math, you don't understand inflation, and you don't understand how to beat hurdle rates, and you don't understand how banks make money, you're going to get poor every single year. Okay. There's more debt than there is income in the system. So on the back of every video, I share with you my capital DR strategy. I share with you exactly what I'm doing so you can go out and research yourself and create your own ecosystem. All right, so let's dive right in. So the first thing I want to show you is this is what I mean by we move from speculation, hype. This is real, guys. This is real. I'm speaking to financial advisors. I met with a tax accountant recently that was asking me information like, how do I research this? And I give them the tools. Financial advisors are now waking up like, holy crap, this is real. The Clarity Act is clarity around banks operating in digital assets. Okay. But here's the thing. A lot of these cryptos are not going to survive. Okay. And you'll see on the back end why I stay with real world solve things that are actually changing the financial system. So CFTC, this is your Commodities Future and Trading Commission. On August 21st, the administration has made it clear that enabling immediate trading of digital assets at the federal level is a top priority. Let's read that one more time. This is your CFTC, okay, Commodity Futures and Trading Commission. Go look at the CFT website. Look up Bitcoin CFTC and see what it says. Bitcoin is a commodity on the CFTC website. Okay. The administration has made it clear that enabling immediate trading of digital assets at the federal level is a top priority. That's their number one priority right now. It's a top priority, said Acting Chairman Pham. I am pleased with many thoughtful letters from stakeholders in support of the CFTC's listed spot crypto trading initiative, which, in coordination with the SEC Project Crypto, answer the President Trump's call for Action America leadership. So the CFTC, the SEC, this is their top priority. Their top priority is crypto. Okay. So maybe you should think about it a little bit. Maybe it should be one of your top priorities is studying this. And that's what we did. Right. But think about that. From 2020 to 2024, it was the wild, wild west. And then Trump came as the crypto capital of the world. Okay. So this is how I make my investments based on facts, figures, numbers, logic. Okay. So we just showed you what the CFTC said on their website. Okay. This is the young lady that said this, who runs the CFTC. Crypto sprint. at the CFTC launches tokenized collateral and stablecoin initiative with industry partners. It's a killer app to modernize markets and make dollars work smarter and go further. Unleash the word unleash US economic growth by lowering cost. Circle's there. Circle's connected to BlackRock. Okay. Coinbase connected to Circle. Circle's connected to BlackRock. We got BlackRock's build fund. We got crypto.com. Trump owns 18% now of their treasury of crypto.com. Tether, Bo Hines steps down, goes to Tether, brings it into US. We have USAT now. Tether, the custodian, is Cantor, which is Howard Lutnick, who is the Commerce Secretary for our country. And we have Ripple. Guys, this is why I'm not market sensitive. This is why today, as I'm speaking to you right now, the markets are going red. I bought more. I'm willing to wait 10 years for this. Okay. I made more money from 2020 to 2022 and going into 2022 and 2025 than I would have made my whole life as an executive investing in my 401k. We're at the beginning of something radical. Okay. So this is why I stay so calm. This is why I stay so stoic. We're going to continue on. Okay. So now I'm building the connections for you guys. BlackRock is connected to Ripple now. Circle connected to BlackRock through their the build fund. You got Circle connected to Coinbase. You got Tether connected to, now in America, you got Tether being custodian by Cantor. Howard Lutnick used to be the CEO of Cantor. He passed on to his son, Brandon. You got Trump, crypto.com. Okay. Trump Treasury owns 18% of crypto.com. Trump Media is the 8th largest holder in the Bitcoin treasury. Bitcoin's not going anywhere, guys. Crypto's not going anywhere. Okay. Red should be celebration for you. All right. So this is Securitize. We're going to have them talk specifically, let them tell you how they feel about Ripple.
Yeah, Carlos. So maybe you can break down this announcement today for us. You guys have rolled this out with Van Eck. Kind of what's the story behind this and why is this important for Securitize?
One of the issues with capital markets is that the dollar, the rails for the dollars and the rails for the securities are disconnected. So one of the huge advantages of tokenization is that you bring within the same ledger technology tokenized securities and tokenized dollars. So for us being the largest issuer of tokenized securities, we need to partner with the largest issuers of tokenized dollars, because that's how we bring the two worlds together and provide liquidity for our assets, which is hugely important to make them, more useful for people on chain. Being able to then compose them better with DeFi that needs liquidation, use them as collateral for trading. In case the collateral needs to get liquidated, you need to exit into stable coins, etc. So, as you know, Ripple, one of the largest companies in the space, launched its own stablecoin. I believe it was like 6 months ago or something like that, like pretty recently.
Yep.
But it's been pretty remarkable how big it has become so quickly. So obviously, Ripple is a company very familiar to us. I don't know if people are aware of it, but they invested in our company in 2018, and we've always been, talking to them. But more recently, I think Ripple has started like kind of doing some movements to get closer to our space. They, as you know, launched a custody product. Now they bought a prime broker, and now they launched a stable coin. So that led to the discussions of why don't we use RLUSD as one of the liquidity layers for RWAs, and then the announcement today that we're going to start that with the two tokenized treasury funds that we have, BUILD from BlackRock and BUILD from Van Eck, where they will have instant on-chain liquidity options into RLUSD.
Instant on-chain liquidity. Ripple is going to leave a dent in the universe. So we know this was announced. Two of the world's largest tokenized treasuries powered by Securitize move further into DeFi with Ripple's enterprise-grade stablecoin. Holders of BUILD and VBIL can instantly swap their shares for Ripple's RLUSD 24/7. Investors gain continuous exposure to RLUSD while preserving the exposure to on-chain yield and broader range of DeFi strategies from Ripple. M2 money supply is picking up around the world, which is very, very, very exciting. We want to continue to take a look at that. And here, let's take a snapshot of the markets, and then I'll dive into my portfolio. Right now, the markets are flying into the red. This is our demo account for Merlin. Merlin is the smartest way to track your crypto. It is the safest way to track your crypto as well. This is an interface. Check this out. So it's our demo account. Look at this. So on our demo account here, I can see all my cryptos at a snapshot. I'm not at risk. I'm not on, I'm connected to Wi-Fi right now, obviously. Nobody can hack my crypto. This is an interface, okay? All my exchanges are in one place here. Boom, look at that. You can track your transactions, the markets, so you don't have to put yourself at risk if you're traveling around in Wi-Fi, and you can set up your exit targets. We pull profits, and I'll explain to you why with my Capital DR strategy, okay? Markets are red right now. BTC dominance is going up a little bit, went from 57% to 58%. We're at about 111,000 in BTC. We're at 4,000 in ETH and about 285 in XRP. When I see red, I see green. So I'm going to break down my exact strategy in my portfolio. What I highly recommend you do is go down below, click the link to download Merlin. You can try it before you buy it. You can actually go in there and set up your exit strategy, learn how to set up profit plans. Okay, these are all the exchanges you can interface with. Okay, we'll teach you how to set up a profit taking plan. That's the key factor to this. You're gonna get your value right away from that. And then if you're stuck, we have actual physical customer service. You can talk to a person. Isn't that amazing in these days? We believe in customer service with our 3T Warrior Academy and Merlin. So down below, go down there and download it for 30 days for free. In my bio, click the link, download it for 30 days for free. I promise you, you will not regret it. You will absolutely love it. So just look at the customer feedback. Look at our reviews. Our reviews are unbelievable. And our number one review is about our customer service. And so we make sure that we provide you the greatest customer service. Okay, so I am coining the system called Capital DR, Capital plus DR. Okay, de-risk, de-risk, de-risk. Okay, so I have a very simple brain. I keep it very, very simple. Okay, I have severe dyslexia, so my brain mixes things up, right? It's always been that way. So it's always thought, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I've always had a logical brain. My brain sees connections and it can look backwards to like see patterns forward. I'm very disciplined in my personal life, my physical walk, my internal health walk, my spiritual walk, and I became very disciplined in my financial walk. I stopped waiting for a savior in my finances. I stopped waiting for cryptos to go to these certain price predictions, and I built a system. How did I do that? I read books that the billionaires and multimillionaires live by. Think and Grow Rich, Richest Man in Babylon, just those two alone, and Cash Flow Quadrant, those three. If you read those three, this strategy that I created, you will understand it at a deep level, how I do this, okay? So Richest Man in Babylon, Think and Grow Rich, and Cash Flow Quadrant. I am now on the bottom right of the Cash Flow Quadrant. I started by trading time for money, putting my money into an investment, okay, that wasn't freeing up time, the 401k. I moved down, left corporate America, and I went down and I actually became an entrepreneur and actually bought an expensive job. I was working more hours, I hadn't scaled my company, and I had crypto. I was vertical. Okay, well, they came and took away my business, and now I just had crypto, so I'm stuck. So then I moved up to the right, I scaled my business, and then I started taking my business income and my cash flow, and I started moving it down to the bottom, and I created what's called my Capital DR strategy. Cash flow, I move my cash, which is absolute trash, which is worth nothing. It's worthless. I move it into assets, okay, that have fixed supplies. This is my own strategy. I use fixed supply assets, okay? Okay. I use things that are opposite of the US dollar. I feel these are the new system. The system is broken, guys. We're buried in debt, 35 trillion. What are they going to do? They have to create a new system. They're moving into a fixed supply asset system. Okay, so assets that have fixed supply, and I'll explain which assets in a moment. Then it's P, protection. I started using cash value life insurance in 2020. I pump money into my premium. So every single month, every single day, my family becomes wealthier because every day I dollar cost average into appreciating assets. Okay, every time I get paid by my companies, I either buy cash flow, dividends, or I put money into the markets when it's red. This morning I woke up, it was red, and boom, I bought. Okay. Then we have L, which is leverage, leverage, leverage. So now, because of my appreciating assets and my protection, I have two leverage components. I have my Bitcoin bank and I have my cash value bank. So guess what I do? I take low leverage on the digital asset side, very safely low leverage because it's volatile. And guess what I do? I bring it back to category one and I buy more cash flow. Leverage from here, cash flow. And then what do I do with the cash flow? I buy appreciating assets. And what do I do when they appreciate? I take the profit, I pay off the debt, and now I turned $1 into 3. That's richest man in Babylon. And I'm very disciplined with the system. I follow it every single day. Every day I dollar cost average into Bitcoin and XRP. Okay. Every month I buy Solana. Now every week I'm buying WLFI. Every single month I put money into my premiums. So my family bank is getting bigger every single month. I have 30% of my wealth is protected. Okay. So that's completely protected. When I profit in appreciating assets, I don't just watch the markets go up and down. That's a vertical strategy. You don't want to be all in one asset class. What are you just going to watch it go up and go down? You're not on a roller coaster, man. You should be the person that's creating the roller coaster, right? Warren Buffett, when it's red, he buys. When it's green, they take some off the top. They build cash generating. It's all about cash flow. Okay, so capital DR. So CAPL, cash flow, appreciation, protection, leverage. DR plus DR is de-risk, 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 de-risk. If you're in my academy, I'm like de-risk. So I deal with high paying, cash flowing, synthetic options, dividends. They pay a ton per month. But here's what differentiates me is I invest knowing that the NAV is going to erode every single month, and I take the cash flow and I'm de-risking back into Bitcoin and XRP. So every week I'm increasing my cash flow through cash flowing dividends, and you can go into medium risk, you can go into low risk dividends as well. But the whole point is to create cash flow because everything in the system is debt. That's only debt, guys. You need to save, then spend. You're spending and then saving what's left. That's why we're broke in America. Okay. Everybody believes in leverage. Okay. You're either leveraging, taking away from your future family. You're extending your buying power without increasing your income, or you're leveraging to create more cash flow to increase your family's future income. And then you buy the things you want with OPM, other people's money, assets. It's a simple model to move over to the side, but it takes discipline. So this is the issue with the cryptocurrency industry is say someone gets a huge liquidity event and they don't know how to create a system. They're going to be broke in 6, 7, 8, maybe 2 years. They're going to buy a huge house. You still got to pay the taxes on that. You got to do the landscaping. You got 4 ACs on that house. Guess what? They're all going to break at the same time. Right? Think about that. People forget how this system works. Okay. That money has zero emotion. It doesn't give a flying shit about you. It doesn't. I'm sorry to tell you, but money doesn't care about you. You're giving it way too much energy. You're trading all this time for money. You're trying to get the next pay raise. So what? You can buy a bigger house and buy a nicer car. You should be flowing with the value of money. You should be taking the money and transmuting that money into things that create a brother or sister. Okay. And you got to understand how to create cash flow. Now, the beauty in crypto is I had a large liquidity event, but what I didn't do is I didn't lifestyle creep. I built a system. Okay. Now, I'm not saying this system will work for you. It's worked for me and a lot of people in my ecosystem. Okay. Now, my point is, I always say that I've met a lot of geniuses with no plan, but an idiot with a plan will do much better than a genius with no plan. Trust me. It ain't that complicated. If you understand inflation, you understand how to beat it. If you don't beat inflation every single year, you become poor. At 2% inflation, every 35 years, your money gets cut in half, the value of your money. Okay. I'm going to do some rough math. I think my CFO did this on one of our calls. If you have $1 million in purchasing power today at 3% interest, you can go look this up and verify this, but he did it on the call. $1 million in buying power at 3% inflation in 26 years, you'll need $2.1 million to have the same buying power. Okay. If you don't understand that simple model of things aren't getting more expensive, the value of your dollar is becoming worth less, then you're going to be poor every single year. So keep it simple, family. Stop chasing get rich quick. Stop chasing hype. The more hype someone is, the more undisciplined they are. The more emotional they are, the more undisciplined their life is. Okay. Stoicism, calm, systems, that's how you predict your future. As you know that the seeds you're planting today are going to bear fruit, but it just takes time. Study the bamboo tree guy. Study farmers. Farmers just don't go to the market and buy random seeds. And a farmer, damn well, especially a farmer isn't going to go give his seeds to another man and say, can you please plant these for me? And I hope that you'll make sure you take care of my family in 30 years when I retire. No, men. You plant your seeds. You learn the financial system. You till the ground. You take care of your family. You make them a priority. You make yourself last so they can be first. Don't trust another man with your seeds. Don't trust another man with your crops. What do you think that man's going to do? He's going to take care of his family first, and he should. He should. That is his job. Our job as men and the head of the household is to get our shit together spiritually, financially, mentally, and physically. That's our job. That's our role. That's our purpose. And when you do it, you are fulfilling your role as a man. I stand on this. And I'm telling you, we posted a video recently on my Instagram. I was a broken little effing boy 5 years ago who had to move back in with my parents, sloppy as hell. Little broken, little squeaky ass voice, broken little boy, need to move back in with my parents. And that was the line in the sand for me. Go watch the video on my Instagram, squeaking. Hey guys, good morning. Weak, sloppy, looking for edification from the world. And I remember sitting there going, you know what? You need to grow the fuck up, dude. I actually wrote that in a journal just recently. Grow the fuck up, grow the fuck up. Excuse my language. But I know there's one man that's listening to this. Listen, and it was grow the F up, grow the F up, grow the F up. I'm sitting there at 43 years old because the pandemic shut my business down. And I said to myself, you will never come into my business and my ecosystem and take away my ability to take care of my family. And it woke me up. Not against anybody. I ain't battling nobody. I don't care about what you're doing. I don't care if you're coming after me. I battle myself. I got my own demons I fight. So I wake up every morning and I bear my sword to go to battle for my family. I praise God in everything I do, and I built an ecosystem. God, family, protect my ecosystem at all cost, and stay out of other men's business. I'm too busy working on mine. I ain't got time to listen to your bullshit and your negative comments, and you shouldn't have time to listen to mine. I have a rule that I live by: post and ghost. I saw that with Joe Rogan: post and ghost. If there's a problem, my lawyer will reach out to me. And if you got a problem with me and you got my phone number, you'll call me. That's it. I'm too busy following my ecosystems, my discipline, my consistency, and you should be too. And this should be inspiring to you. If it's triggering you, then this is meant for you. Because I'm telling you what, there's a lot of sloppy effing men running around right now. And I even looked back at that video that Josh created on our Instagram, CoachJV_, check it out. And I was like, wow, man. When I watched that, I saw a broken little boy that was raising a little boy and a daughter. I was like, that's dangerous. That is dangerous. And I made it my commitment to never put my family in that position again. Now, I don't know what'll work for you, but that motivated me. That motivated me. I will never rely on another man for my ecosystem. That's why I own my ecosystems. That's why I have the ability to say, nope, you're out. I make the decisions in my ecosystem. I make the decisions in my family. My partner and I coexist together. We expand together. We build together. And I hope this is motivating you and inspiring you. And if it's not, then it's meant for you. Trust me. Trust me. Because I'm speaking from truth. I'm speaking from what I did, not from a concept anymore. The man 5 years ago was conceptual, but he stuck with it. Disciplined, consistent for a long enough period of time to access that paradigm. I'm telling you, we are going to build $1 billion ecosystem. And I'm okay saying that. I'm bold enough to say that. And it has nothing to do with money. Because energy, you give the energy to the money. It's about ecosystems, resources, structure, staying out of other men's business because I'm too busy working on mine. So I love you. I appreciate you. Let's get to work. Warriors, rise! Get your shit together. Let's go.